G'day guys, and welcome again to the Unsealed 4x4 garage. And today I've got Brad from Drivetech 4x4 who's going to give me a hand changing the brakes on my GQ Patrol. But of course it's not just brakes that you offer, is it Brad?
No, not at all, Evan. Our range includes products for drivetrain, steering and suspension, filtration, clutch, but of course, as you've already mentioned, braking. So I reckon, how about we go now and have a look at our range that we've got laid out here before we get stuck into the vehicle.
Sounds good, let's go. All right, we're over here at the bench. And Brad's going to run us through some of the parts we've got here to fit up to the old GQ. So what have we got here, Brad?
Okay, we've got the disc rotors, the brake pads themselves, of course, and while you're doing your brake job, it's a great time to look at your wheel bearings, so we have those in the range as well.
What do you reckon we start at the back and work our way forwards?
I reckon let's get into it.
Let's get the wheels off. Noticed a big issue with this back rotor. What's going on here, Brad?
Yeah, well, obviously being an off-road vehicle, you know, you go through mud and what have you, you pick up little stones and debris. We've got material caught between the pad and the disc, and you can see the gouging that's come in here, which is a great reason to replace these rotors while we're doing the pads.
Absolutely. So, first step, crack these nuts.
Yep, caliper off.
Caliper off.
Caliper off, bracket off, rotor off, and away we go.
Brilliant. I'll get some tools and we'll get into it.
Let's do it. So we've got the caliper off, so now the disc rotor should come off quite simply, ready for the new one.
All right, Brad, we've knocked over the rear end and that was a pretty easy job, you know, a couple of bolts, it sort of came to pieces pretty easily.
Fairly straightforward, yeah.
Now we're moving on to the front end though, and this is a little bit more involved. So what's the first step?
We've taken the bolts out here, the retaining bolts for the disc. We're going to pull the caliper off, and then we're going to remove these bolts here, which are securing this hub, and that's going to allow us to pull the disc rotor straight off. All right, Ev, what we've done, we've separated the disc rotor from the hub. We've pulled the old bearings out. We've cleaned the hub up with a bit of degreaser. And we've put the new cones in. The new bearing cones are actually in the hub, and so now we're going to do the fantastic task of greasing the new bearings up.
It's a messy job.
It certainly is. So all we want to do is really just a bit of grease on the hand there, and we're just going to start forcing the bearing through the grease, and in a few seconds you'll start to see the grease coming, the new grease coming out through here. All right, Ev, so there we go. There's our grease bearing, or one of, and we're just going to put that straight down into the cup now. And then we'll follow that up with the seal coming straight after it. Okay, so there's our seal in place. We're just going to tap that down now so that it's all the way home. We've now got our hub seal in place. The next step in this one is to throw on the disc rotor. We've got the new disc rotors on, we've got the new brake pads on, and of course the next step on most brake jobs is to bleed the brakes. When we do that, we start from the rearmost wheel to the master cylinder, so obviously up the back, and work our way around. We scored a bit of luck on this car because the master cylinder has just been replaced in the last few weeks. So it's already got all new clean fluid, so we're not actually going to do it this time around.
Okay, so is there anything else we need to do?
Well, you might want to, once we've got the wheels on, you'll take the car out. You'll be very careful on your first few applications of your brake pedal. You might want to do a slight bedding in process where you run the car up to about 30 k's an hour, come down to a stop, don't let it come to a dead stop, go again another 30 k's, maybe increase the speed a little bit. Just light braking to start with, just to give it that initial bit of bed in. And then you're pretty well right to go. So
if people want to get these parts on their four-wheel drives at home, where do they go to get them?
Evan, I think the best place is to head to our website, drivetech4x4.com.au, and any customer can see a full list of our stockists there, and our stockists are only too happy to help people out.
Brilliant. All right, mate, well, I'd shake your hand, but you're filthy.
Absolutely.
But thank you very much for all your help.
Good on you, Evan. Thank you.